everyone, and welcome to my studio. Today we're going to paint this beautiful scene of China Cove. China Cove is located at Point Lobos, which is a couple miles south of Carmel on the coast of California. And it's an absolutely beautiful park. If you've never been there, I definitely can recommend it. In this specific location, China Cove is at the very southernmost part of this park. And I used to teach a lot of plein air classes there because it's very sheltered from the wind. And this park, if you go out on the rocks, gets a lot of wind. In the picture, you can see a trail just to the right of the cypress tree sticking up, and that's called Bird Rock Trail. And it goes all around that distant hill, and you can see a lot of seabirds and different arches and things like that. Sea rocks and different coves. It's just really beautiful. So if you get a chance to go there, I definitely recommend going to China Cove and walking on that trail. So looking down in this photo, the water is really beautiful. It looks like water that you'd see in the Caribbean, but it's really cold. And all those dark patches are kelp forest. And there's if you can see, if you look really closely, there's also a little seal that's swimming in the water and sticking his head out, and right next to him is another little seal on its back that's completely underwater. And this is a beach where it's protected. No one's allowed to go to the beach, and the seals can come up with their pups. And I've been there when there have been 40 seals on the beach, so it's a really neat place. I'm doing a square composition today. This is 10 inches by 10 inches, so pretty small. And I'm going to be painting it with a palette knife. And this is a really great photo to use as a reference for palette knife painting, because you can see there's really distinct color shapes, starting from the beach on the left here. It's really nice white sand beach, and then there's a crisp shadow line going across it, so I've indicated that with these little lines. By the way, I did this drawing with a number 2 Bristlon brown brush, and I used ultramarine blue and madder lake. And so anyway, this arch here, the seascape, is the center of interest, and so you can see it falls on the left vertical third. So the painting is divided into 3 verticals, this left section, the middle section, and the right section, and then it has 3 horizontal lines, and it's usually a good indication of where you should put your center of interest. So this is the center of interest, and conveniently for us, you can see these nice lines in the sand made by waves, and they sort of radiate out from the cliff. I made them radiate out from the center of interest because it kind of draws your eye into this cliff. So a couple other things to note. This section here is all in shadow, and so even though there's a lot going on this cliff, you can see ice plants and green plants and rock formations and things and trees. Basically, you just want to draw a big couple of lines around this shape and around this arch, and this whole area is going to be a shadow shape, and later we'll add a few highlights of where the sun is coming in and hitting the rocks. And then the top of this, where the tree is coming out, this is also in shadow, but it's going to be a bit darker. This section of the cliff, so I've delineated it starting here to the end. This is all in the sun. The one behind it is a little bit darker, and it's still in the light, but it's darker, but the right side is in shadow. And you can tell I've altered the photo a little bit to suit my composition. I put one cypress tree here, and it's leaning a little bit to the right, and it has a couple of big clumps of leaves. And we've got a very high horizon. This is unusually high, but there's not a lot going on in the sky. It doesn't tell much of a story that fits with this painting, and this is the really interesting part. You could even do this composition without the horizon at all, but I chose to put it in because I like how the tree overlaps the sky, and so that was my reason for including it. And then behind the second cliff here are these white rocks, and I've just put a little bit of those in here. Guess I'll add a little more right here. But anyway, and then beyond these is the ocean. So we've got a lot of nice big color shapes to start with. And I'm going to put the color shapes in with a brush, and then I'm going to do the rest of the painting with a palette knife. So on my palette today I have titanium white, cadmium lemon, cadmium yellow medium, cadmium yellow deep, cadmium red light, primary magenta, madder lake deep, ultramarine blue, and permanent green deep.